tips for using a foam roller. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm a physical therapist, and foam rolling is something that I do on an everyday basis. And I see a lot of people who do it quite well, but then also a good part of the population that does not do the foam rolling as it is meant to be. So let's talk about the 4 tips that can help you do your foam rolling better. Okay, so let's move on to tip number 1. Foam rolling can be painful. That's the truth of it, right? So, foam rolling can be painful. However, there's a way of getting to the painful spots because you are foam rolling because you have a trigger spot or you have a tight spot in your muscle and you want to get rid of it, right? So, what you do is, suppose you have a tight spot. So suppose this is the muscle that you're looking at, right? And this is in the center, this is the tight spot. So what you're going to do is, when you're foam rolling, so when you're rolling your foam on, say, along this muscle longitudinally, you're going to first get into the periphery, so not exactly in the center of the most painful area. You're going to go around the most painful area, and you're going to gradually work your way towards the most painful area in the center there. Okay, so what that does, it gives a chance for the muscle fibers to slowly relax around that area where the muscle is in spasm or has a tight trigger spot, and then slowly you can get into the main area, right? So that's one thing. But please do not continue your foam rolling if you have any sharp pains, or if you feel that the pain is actually increasing, right? The pain should always be tolerable. Now, this is applicable to most of the things that we do, even your stretches, strengthening exercises. Yes, there's an effort when you do your strengthening exercises, but not sharp pains. Anyway, coming back to foam rolling, I went down a rabbit hole there. So back to foam rolling. So you should not have any sharp pains when you're doing your foam rolling. And obviously, if you have, then go back to your physical therapist or come and ask me, and we can help tackle that pain and get it to that extent where you can actually move on with your foam rolling. Okay. So, another mistake I see people do is to foam roll on a bony area like your spine or your joints. So, you do not want to foam roll on top of a bony area, right? So, for example, well, there are exceptions to the rule, which I'll just talk about. For example, if, say, you are doing foam rolling for your, say, mid back, right? So you are going along the sides of the spine. That's perfectly fine, but you do not want to be focusing your foam roller on top of your spine. However, when you are doing, say, the hip flexor, so basically the muscles that cross in front of your hip joint, that, yes, you are going in on top of a joint, but then this is the joint and there's a muscle right on top of it, so you're actually rolling on the muscle and not on the joint itself. Okay, so you're not directly on a bone. Now, the third thing is, sometimes, when you feel really good about foam rolling or you're really enthusiastic, you might actually stay on one spot for too long. Don't do that mistake. So you probably would cause bruising, or if it's an area that has recently healed from some injury, you might actually cause more inflammation in that area. So when you are foam rolling, do not stay on one spot for a very long time. So basically, you want to move around, right? So this is not like a trigger point massage ball where you are actually, say, sitting on it or lying down on it and it's sitting in that spot and slowly digging into your muscles. You actually want to keep moving, and you're not like moving at like very rapidly. You're actually moving slowly and steadily releasing your muscles. Okay, so that was the third point, that do not stay at one spot for too long. Now, most of people get confused as to how long do we foam roll. It feels nice. Sometimes it's more like a sour sort of a pain, a sweet pain, as some people call it. However, try and stick to 30 seconds to 90 seconds. So that's like half a minute to 1.5 minutes. Now, it also depends on how big is your muscle group. So if I'm doing my quadriceps or my hamstrings, yes, obviously, also depends on the number of spots that you're targeting on that muscle. So that's why there's a variation from 30 seconds to 90 seconds. So suppose I'm just on my, say, forearm, then you probably just want to do 30 seconds, right? So Also, what you can do is say, if you want to go back to the same muscle, you feel like your 90 seconds is not enough, maybe do 90 seconds of the rolling, and then you do another 10 seconds of stretching for that same muscle, and then again you go back to your rolling. So like, give it a break in between, don't just continuously go on and on for a long time. Okay, so don't overdo your foam rolling, because this is also a very frequently asked question. Can I overdo my foam rolling? Yes, you can, right? And this is the way around it, that you take breaks in between. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you guys that I'm doing series, no, actually a challenge on foam rolling, where I'll be taking you through the details of foam rolling, and then moving on to the common muscles that you can foam roll. And that will be starting this Monday in my free Facebook group. So I'll leave a link to my Facebook group in the description below. And if you're watching me on Instagram, the description sorry the link to my Facebook group is actually called My Community. It's in the link to my bio. So click on the link to my bio, and then you will see My Community, and then you can take it from there. So you just need to join the group, and then from Monday, there will be posts in there, and you can go through the challenge with me. If you're watching this sometime in the future, we are in October, end of October now. But if you're watching this in the future, then the challenge will live in my group, so you can go back to it. But if you can, then pop into a group and then see how you go. um, I would say there will be a lot of value into that challenge. It can actually be a little mini course, but I'm putting it into a challenge right now. Okay, so for those of you who are watching me now, you can say hello, so I know you're here. And if you're watching me on the replay, please comment hashtag replay, so I know you've been here. And if you have any questions, yeah, feel free to pop them in. Otherwise, head on to my free Facebook group and please join me there for the foam rolling challenge. If you haven't done foam rolling in the past, believe me, it's easy weasy. It's just somebody needs to show you. That's all. Alrighty, folks, take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye.